Hello and welcome to this week's Women's Football Chat, the weekly show that brings you everything to do with the third and fourth tiers of women's football in England. That's the FA Women's National League. My name is Chris Gadsby, here every Thursday at 6 p.m. to bring you the very latest. Now, this is another pre-recorded episode ahead of the new season. So any news that's come out in the last week, I will cover in next week's show when I am back from holiday. But this week, I didn't want to leave you short of any content. So I've got two fabulous interviews lined up for you ahead of the new season, which is now just a week and a half away. So first of all, I speak to Gemma Lancaster, who is the Merseyrail captain after they get promoted into Division 1 North. We talk about the squad, how last season went for them, and what powerhouse the Northwest is becoming in women's football. And then following on from that, I speak to Ben Cooper, who is the assistant coach of AFC St Austell, who have come into Division 1 Southwest, Cornish side in the FA Women's National League. They're hoping to get big crowds in, being the only side from Cornwall in the FAWNL, and he spoke again about how it came right down towards the end of the season for St Austell. Their final game where they needed to win to go up, they managed it. So he speaks to me all about that and that final game, and about just how the rest of the teams in the FAWNL hadn't quite realised quite how far it was to get down to St Austell, and we had a bit of a kind of epiphany moment about one of the fixtures, which we think, even though there hasn't been a ball kicked yet, will be moved later on in the season. So you'll get all that to enjoy over the next half hour or so. First of all, Gemma Lancaster, the Merseyrail captain, then following on from that, Ben Cooper, the AFC St Austell assistant coach. So Gemma, thanks for joining me. And there's only one place to start, really, and congratulations on promotion into the FA Women's National League.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to start playing in it.
It was a remarkable season for Merseyrail, really. Only one defeat all season, a 100% record at home. It's going to be tough to emulate that.
I mean, yeah, definitely going into this new league, it will be. But, you know, we worked hard. We brought a big group of girls together from two different teams. And, you know, it took a little bit of time to gel. But once we did, it was just flying from there, to be honest. It was quite a successful move, shall we say, to what we've done with the club.
Yeah, I mean, the one defeat in the season came in September as well. As you've gone from October all the way through to now, unbeaten in the league.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, we should have really lost that game, but, you know, bad games happen sometimes. It would have been nice to go completely undefeated, but, you know, it couldn't be asked for too much.
14 goals against all season, finishing 10 points clear. So you definitely had a solid defence last season.
Yeah. I was part of it. So that's like a goal for me, not conceding. You know, we worked hard. We, as a unit, with the keeper as well, you know, we just sort of, we all came together, and, you know, it just worked. It was just a nice relationship between us all. We knew what everyone was doing, and yeah, it was positive basically from the off, to be honest.
Yeah, clean sheet after clean sheet, and as you said, everything clicked. Yeah. So how's the summer been in anticipation of the new season then?
Exciting. It's been another big change. So we've got a new coaching staff in, new managers, new faces, a lot of new faces within the club, both players and like all over. Different. So we are preparing for the new league above, the National League, and, you know, that comes with a lot of running and a lot of hard work. So it's a level up from what I've been used to, but, you know, it's only for what we're trying to achieve within this league going up.
Yeah, and a lot of long trips as well, Newcastle, all of the long trips up there.
I have to get used to them. Yeah, luckily the first game's at home, so.
Yeah, no, that would be good. Yeah, what are you? Obviously, the aim, of course, is to stay in the league, to finish above the bottom two. Is that the main goal? Have you got further aspirations, or is it a case of
numbers? We're not there to just be a new face and sort of linger about. We're there to make an impact. So, you know, it's difficult going into that league, and, you know, you've seen it. People go up and then they go straight back down, and it's hard. It's nothing to do with their work rate. It's just there's established teams in that league who are fighting at the top, and you've got to compete with that. So bringing in new faces, harder training, fitness. We want to be the fittest team in the league. That's what we're trying to achieve, and then let our football do the talking. So we've got quality players in that team, and we're bringing in girls from experience within the National League, and young players who are just eager. So yeah, we're there to make an impact. We're there to be like, we're this little club from Toxteth and we're doing something here. So that's what we're trying to achieve.
How are you finding the extra level of training and fitness over the?
I mean, there might be a few complaints here and there, but we get it done. We know what we've got a goal, so we know we're trying to hit it. So everything that we're doing in preparation is just to get us ready for that.
Yeah, was there a particular, like when the fixtures came out, was there a particular game you headed for straight away? I was out circling that game in your diary.
Just the Newcastle one. I mean, they just missed out to Liverpool Feds obviously last season, and I think they're going full time, so they're going to be well prepared. They're the team to beat, aren't they, in this league, in my eyes as well. I mean, they all are, but especially Newcastle, and they've got a big calibre to their name, and we want to sort of let them to come to our home ground and make it difficult for them, and make the league go, oh, okay, who are these? So that's our goal. Every game we just take it game by game. That's all we can do.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get that opportunity hosting them on the opening game of the season. I mean, it doesn't get much tougher when you get thrown into a new division.
Not really, but when it's part of the season. It's you got to expect the hard, and getting it given straight to you from the off. It's just there's no relax. It's straight in, and that's what I'd expected anyway. So it's difficult, but it's what we need to just work through and get beyond.
It's a great opportunity for you straight away to make a real statement as well by taking points away definitely. From Newcastle. Hopefully all three of them from your point.
I know, nice 3 points at home for the first game of the season. That'll make everyone turn their heads on it. So
yeah, a couple of games as well. Then you've got Durham making the long trip down to as well. So you've got a nice start.
Well, we did that last season in the FA Cup, and I think we struggled a little bit with the travel. So hopefully we get used to it quite quickly. We've got girls who have done it before, like last season and the season before, so they're used to it. But you've got players who haven't, so hopefully we get used to it very quickly, and we can go out from minute one and kick off.
Yeah, and you've got a great opportunity to test yourselves not just in the league but in the cup competitions as well. The determining round of the cup and plate coming up early in the season as well in September, where you could end up with a tier 3 side. There's a chance to test yourself even higher again.
Well, we've got quite well set out pre-season. So we played Burnley last week. I mean, we lost 2-1, but we gave them a game, and they're established in the tier above. We're only just going into tier 4, and first half, like, we had them in second half. It was difficult, but we kept it tight, we kept it together, and we played our game plan. And it's one of them that's what we're trying to achieve. It's not to be in tier 4 and stay there. It's to go to tier 3 and above and beyond. And so we have got a good few set of games in pre-seasons to set us up to prepare ourselves on that and see what level we want to be at.
Yeah, we have seen a few teams that have done that and been able to go through the leagues.
Well, Burnley did that as well, so that's exactly what we're trying to emulate as well. So
yeah, hopefully being in the higher league now, you can get more of a local presence, get even more fans into the ground, and continue to raise the team profile as well.
Definitely, that's what we've been trying to do. So we are like one of the only clubs without a men's team sort of influence as well, and it's what we're trying to move forward with the women's game, and be that sole football club, and build up from that, and get our name out. We've got a nice ground, nice clubhouse, so people want to come down, they can. But yeah, it's great for women's football, to be honest, and being this little small club to try and keep growing. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, what have you found the differences have been? You said you haven't got a men's club attached, whereas a lot of these sides that you're playing now have. What have you noticed have been the differences when you've been going to away games, and that difference between being a complete standalone club and being affiliated?
I mean, one of them is just the name itself. It's one of those, like, so yeah, when you put a name to a club, you sort of reflect back on, this is the men's club, and they're sort of massive, they're a big academy, they're doing all this, you know. Whereas Merseyrail, it's not a known name, so other than the trains, but that's only a Liverpool. So there's a name that comes with it. So we want to be able to have our name and people go, we know them through the women's team. And obviously you've got fans and it comes in heap loads against some sides. And we want to have that. We want to have people supporting Merseyrail wearing our kits, wearing our gear. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so it helps you in a way because you can just forge your own identity rather than always being in the shadow, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. We want to be the forefront. That's what we're trying to be.
Yeah, particularly in your area as well. You've got so many teams around there. We've mentioned Liverpool Feds being there as well. They've gone up into the third tier. I mean, you lose that derby a little
I know, yeah, that's a nice little away game as well. It's not too far to travel, so I not that. But yeah, they're a good side and they've done so well. And yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be some, almost like a powerhouse in that region. You've got Liverpool Feds are on the up. Liverpool are back into the Super League. It's all around that area. It's almost one of the women's football powerhouses at the minute.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're all doing well. It's all growing and we're achieving a lot. So that's what we're going to keep trying to do.
Yeah, you're starting to really, force your way into that as well. So that's great. So the season only a month away now. We're recording this on the 22nd. So you're really keen to get back into it, but you just can't wait for that first whistle to go against Newcastle.
Yeah, it means all the running stops in pre-season. That's what it means. So. We're looking forward to it. We've got a good few more games in pre-season to go and test ourselves and work on our game plan and get ourselves ready for that. That's exactly what we're trying to do. That's what the pre-season's for. We've got, like I said, we've brought in a lot of new faces last season. A lot of girls retired my age, which is a bit concerning, but a lot of girls left, so we have to bring in a new bulk of players, which we have done, young and experienced, and so we're trying to gel, and that's what we're trying to achieve. And we're trying to get our game plan going through our training sessions, and reflecting and showing them in the games that we're playing. And hopefully, there's little bits of it, and it's all positive from the 2 games we played so far. We've not got a game this weekend; it's just more running. But next weekend we've got a game, and so we're trying to. Everything that we're putting into practice, we want to show it on the pitch, and that's what we want to do. Come Newcastle.
No sign of you hanging up the boots yet, though. Despite your teammates doing it.
Not yet. Yeah, I know they're all my age, and I'm just thinking, oh God, you can't do that yet. I'm still playing. What's it saying about me? But, not yet. A few more seasons. I'm thinking. I want to go and test myself in this league. So
yeah, it'll be good though because you'll be able to mentor some of the younger players coming through.
Exactly, yeah. So we've got quite a large set of young girls coming in, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, and it's nice to see them develop and grow, building confidence, build the gameplay, and I want to be that experienced player who can help them, lead them on the way into great things with Merseyrail or beyond. So it's nice to be able to be that person to have that wealth of experience, and they can come to, and I can help teach them as well as the coaches as well.
Yeah, well, Gemma, it's been fantastic to chat to you. Thank you very much. If you're in the local area, merseyrailfc.co.uk is the website. You can find all more information there, and of course, you can find all the fixtures on the full-time website. Gemma, best of luck for the new season to yourself and the rest of Merseyrail.
Thank you very much.
Right, so Ben, thanks so much for joining me on the Women's Football Chat. First of all, congratulations on promotion into the FA Women's National League. You must be really pleased.
Yeah, it's I don't think it will hit us until we start playing those big games and the big teams come down to Little Odds and Austell, and we see those big some Premier League names come down. But yeah, I mean, we said for the girls, I don't think we don't think the girls realise how big a deal it is for Cornwall and for women's football in Cornwall. They've just taken it in their stride, and they've been great, and they're a fearless bunch, and I don't think they realise quite how monumental it is, really.
When you look at next season, I will come on to it, but you've got the likes of Cardiff City going down, who have got Wales internationals in their squad, Southampton women with all that history surrounding that side as well, coming down and playing St Austell.
Yeah, Bournemouth on the first opening weekend could have had a slightly easier first game, but it is what it is for us in at the deep end. It's quite a good way to do it sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, Bournemouth, Cardiff, and Exeter to start off isn't the easiest of starts.
But what that does give us, it gives us quite a nice back end to the season, actually, where we've got a few more winnable games on the home straight. But well, we'll see.
I mean, going back to the end of last season, I mean, because of obviously the way the fixtures worked, I believe Ilminster finished their season, you still had 2 to play. Yeah. Knowing that you needed 1 victory out of those 2 games, but then you lost your penultimate game. So it came down to that final game against Forest Green Rovers, and it was a case of win, go up, anything other than a win, and you weren't going to quite make it. It must have been some occasion.
Yeah, that Sherborne game was horrific. We our whole preparation for it was awful. Our coach let us down. We didn't get a coach, so we got in a minibus, a 15-seater minibus, our squad, and trotted up to Sherborne, and it was horrendous. Got there late, and then they completely played us off the park and really gave us something to think about. Because that's the first time we'd lost in the league ever. Yeah, we'd lost in the league, coming through the Cornwall League and then the Western Division. But yeah, I think that kind of gave the girls focus going into that last game against Forest Green. They really got focused, and you could just tell. I knew before that the ball was kicked that we were going to win that game because they were just on it. And I think the previous week had helped.
Yeah, I mean, at what point, if it's possible at all in that game, did you start to think, yeah, okay, we can relax a little bit now because we kind of got this? I mean, it was 2-0 at half time, 3-0 after 48 minutes. It only became 4-0 with 5 minutes to go. I guess when that 4th goal went in with 5 minutes to go, you could actually think, yeah, okay, we're going up now.
But it was one of those games. It was one of our best performances of the season, and we like to keep the ball and we like to move the ball around. And I can't remember Forest Green having a shot in the first half. I think they had one in the second half. It was one of those, and like you say, it wasn't done and dusted until quite late. But I was comfortable. That one of the most comfortable I've been all season. It was really weird.
Yeah, when the pressure's at the most.
We had some absolute roller coaster games throughout the season, and that was probably the most relaxed I've been the whole season, which was odd.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of changes next season. Of course, you've got more games to play in the league. You've got the League Cup as well. You could go far in that in the cup or the plate competition as well. Probably less of a gap between games as you've had before throughout winter and whatever, where the games kind of come more thick and fast, plus longer trips as well in many cases. There's a lot of changes to get used to. Yeah,
I mean, we're one of those teams that likes, well, most teams do, don't they? But we like regular playing patterns and week in, week out games. I think the more you have to think about a game and the more build up there is to it, the worse it can be sometimes. Our league decided to halt from like the 10th of December until something like the
23rd of Jan. Drew with Torquay on the 5th of December, and then the next game was Royal Wootton Bassett on the 23rd of Jan.
Yeah. Oh my God! In that game, we went 3 or 4-1 down.
5-4 win.
Yeah, and won it in the last minute. Yeah, because we hadn't kicked a ball in so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that kind of pace and that rhythm throughout the season. And with the travel, to be honest, it's not that much more than it was last year. If you pinned them on a map, it's not too much further overall. I think we did something like 1,200 miles away last season, and I guess it will be a little bit more than that, but not too much. But then you factor in, like you say, the cup games and things, and it probably will add up to quite a bit more.
But you get a lot more exposure around the club as well. Hopefully get more people in. As you say, it's great for Cornwall.
Yeah, and that's it. Is even this season, it's suddenly like, oh, we've got a lot of, like, this time last year, like genuinely we were scraping 7 or 8 people at training, and we had multiple games last year where one of those games for the run-in for the title, we had a couple of sickness bugs and we only had like 13 or 14 players available, and we ended up not having our goalkeeper away to Bishop's Lydiard, and we played a bare 11 without our goalkeeper and had 2 midfielders do a half in goal. And we had so many games like that last year where we had 12 or 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Now suddenly, because we've had the exposure and the success, we've got a good thick squad of 18, 19, 20. That's the first time we've ever had that in 3 years.
Yeah, and been making signings as well. A couple announced over the last couple of days as we're recording this. So you must be pleased with how the squad's looking going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, we've lost our top goal scorer, but we've replaced a couple of with a couple of attacking players, and in Katie Barabel and Beth Everson, who is she's caused us problems. In the past, she played against us for Torquay and MAP previously, and she's a real handful. And we've got a few more to announce. Actually, we've got a couple of midfielders and a solid addition at the back to come in over the next few days. But yeah, it's really bolstered, and it needs to be. I think if we had last season's squad going into this season, we wouldn't have had a very good time whatsoever in terms of the numbers.
Well, those signings will be out by the time that this comes out. But yeah, tell me, how's pre-season going for you? I know you had the defeat to Plymouth, who obviously from the 3rd tier, so it's a heavy defeat. But going in at the half, only 1-0 down is certainly respectable.
Yeah, and I mean we've watched it back, and we've watched the video, and we played well in the first half, and we've done well, but we have made a point of rotating every 15-20 minutes, about 4 or 5 players every 15 minutes. And myself and Simon, the manager, said to the girls that we take responsibility here. Like we essentially had a brand new team out for 45 minutes against an Argyle side who have gone through their trouble patch and are now a really good team. And yeah, we gifted them 4 or 5 of those goals, but who did we play before that? That was only our 2nd game as well, which probably wasn't the best idea. We had Argyle development on a very hot Sunday on an AstroTurf where both teams just were knackered within 20 minutes, I reckon. But yeah, we have a few more games lined up. We're looking to try and get another fixture in this weekend, because unfortunately Saltash have pulled out. But yeah, we've found out a lot about our players over the last couple of games, and we have an idea roughly of what we want to go with. And these next 3 games are more going to be looking at a starting 11 to start the season with, and getting something fixed.
Yeah, because as we've said, really do need to hit the ground running with those opening 3 fixtures. Yeah. Bournemouth away, Cardiff City at home, Exeter away, then Chelsea away, who have also come down from the 3rd tier. So you've got 2 sides that have come down and 2 sides that were right in the mix at the end of last season as well. So probably one of the hardest starts, and Southampton women then on the 5th game as well. Probably one of the hardest starts in the FA Women's National League. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't look too favourable until October for us, when we can get some home games. I think we've got 3 home games in October.
Yeah.
And hopefully then, by then, we have a few points on the board, and have hopefully managed to get a couple of results, a couple of draws, hopefully. You never know, maybe a shock win against one of the big guns would be lovely, but got to be realistic. And that's something that we've got to really kind of think about this season, is managing our expectations and not expecting to win every game.
Yeah,
as we have done for the last 3 years, because it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean that 3rd game of that stretch of 3 on the 13th of October at home to Maidenhead, the longest trip Maidenhead could do in midweek as well.
Yeah,
on a Thursday night.
I can't see that going ahead. Surely they'll surely they'll file to get that moved.
Because that is
Thursday night, isn't it?
It's a Thursday night and it's a 4-hour trek each way.
Yeah, it's not happening, surely.
You wouldn't think so, but
No.
you know, it's still in there for the moment, so we'll wait and
Yeah.
see what happens with that. But is there any? I mean, we've spoken about the big teams. There, is there any game you're particularly looking forward to, excited about? I mean, it's a great home opener against Cardiff.
Yeah, and it will be lovely getting some local girls teams in to be mascots, and we've made the local schools aware of the games, and hopefully we get a decent crowd in for that, because when we've had a decent crowd down at Polter Park, we can get a few hundred in on the regular, and I think if we can push towards, we were getting regularly 150-ish before Christmas last year. I think we pushed near 200 or some 200-ish in an FA Cup game against Torquay, and then after Christmas the crowd seemed to die down a little bit. But if we can get 200 or 300 for those home games, I think it will be a real boost. And our team likes a home crowd, and they do really respond to that home support. But hopefully we can get a few like I say, youth teams to come along and support and be mascots and things like that, which would be lovely.
Yeah, and then the two kind of derby games really for you, the Exeter away we've spoken about, Exeter at home towards the end of February as well, should be a good one.
Yeah.
Even though it's scheduled for midweek at the moment, but it will start to get a bit lighter, and it should be, even under the floodlights, good atmosphere there.
Yeah, and hopefully by then we've found our feet, and we know what we're about and where we lie in the league, and hopefully we'll know something a bit more about the league and how to approach games by then. You'd like to think anyway. What was it, February the 22nd?
Yeah. February the 22nd, yeah. I mean, what are your kind of aspirations for next season? Of course, staying in the league is the big one. Is there a hint of, even though going into every game trying to win it, a bit of league management, and as you've said earlier, pinpointing those games where these are the teams that we could be beating, and then you look at the likes of Bournemouth and Cardiff and you think it might be unlikely against those teams, but let's target these games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year we went into every game saying, if we play our football today, we'll win. And if we do that, we win today. And I don't think we can do that this year. I think if we play our football and we play to our maximum every game, we'll give everyone a good game, but it doesn't guarantee you points at this level. Yeah. So like you say, bit of management, thinking about those big away trips, especially when it starts to get busy, resting legs, but the five substitutes is going to be massive for us, I think. Because three subs would have been a real change from the roll on, roll off we had last year that we really utilised. And these teams are going to be used to, and they're going to have the fitness levels of 3 subs. So 5 subs as a refresher hopefully plays into our hands a little bit more. Maybe the weaker teams will make more use of that. But yeah, definitely some game management, season management, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, even with the 5 subs, that's half your outfield if you exclude the keeper that are playing every all 90 minutes of the game.
Yeah, which is a massive change from last year.
Yeah, but certainly hopeful ahead of the new season then that you can get the points that you need to avoid that bottom 2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all well and good getting there, isn't it? But staying there is what you want. And if we want to create a bit of a hotbed for women's football in Cornwall, then we need to stay in that league, because we've got a couple of good teams below us in Lescard that have gone into the Premier League, the Southwest Premier League, who are a very good team. So yeah, if we can stay in there and hopefully kind of raise aspirations around women's football in Cornwall as a whole, that would be amazing. That'd unbelievable.
Yeah, not just on the pitch, but raising the profile and everything off the pitch as well. Ben, thanks so much for joining me and chatting. We'll be keeping a keen eye on the fortunes of the side throughout next season on the show, and I know a lot of the viewers and listeners will do as well. Thanks so much for joining me.
Brilliant. Thank you.
A huge thank you to Gemma and Ben for taking time to speak to me over the last week or so. So yes, I'll be back with a new show next Thursday at 6 p.m. All being well. And I say all being well because I get back from holiday at something like 5 a.m. on the Thursday morning. So it depends how much sleep I need. And then the ability to be able to record a show and get it out for 6 o'clock. It may be later than 6 o'clock. I may push it to the Friday, but I will do everything I can to get it out Thursday at 6 o'clock for you as we look ahead to the opening round of fixtures in the FA Women's National League. The season is almost upon us. Just 10 more days to wait until that opening whistle for the opening game of the season. So again, thank you very much for watching and listening this week's Women's Football Chat. Keep supporting your local women's football team. They really do want your support down on the terraces, wherever they are over the next 10 months or so. Thank you very much for watching and listening this week's show. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, this is available on the move on Spotify, Amazon, Google and on Chatbox. If you're listening on any of those audio streams, you'll be able to see all of the graphics on my YouTube channel. It's at Chris_Gadsby. If you just search in the search bar for Women's Football Chat, it will come right up and you'll be able to see all of the graphics as I'm talking through them. But that will do it for this week's show. Again, big thank you to Gemma and Ben, and thank you very much for watching and listening. Goodbye.